Welcome to the 95th edition of Make Pro Wrestling Majestic again. I am Tigerhite.
And I am Peanut Gallery.
So, over the next couple of weeks, there's not going to be a whole lot of pay-per-view action, but let's go right into Soapbox because our topic is going to be very interesting and hopefully you will enjoy because a lot of stuff has kind of...
Yeah, there aren't any pay-per-views.
Right.
Not until Mania.
Right. A lot of the topic that we have for today is going to be... It's been pretty much right there in front of us.
Right.
Pretty much this week, and so we want to talk about it. But let's get on my soapbox. Raw. So Raw actually went up in viewers, I'm assuming because of John Cena.
Yeah, probably.
1.857 million viewers compared to 1.767 million viewers in a 0.52 demo instead of a 0.51 demo. And obviously with those numbers, it was number one in the top 150 of the evening. Kevin Owens and Solo Sikoa had a fun opener, but once again, we need to start seeing Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens develop a little bit more over the course of the weeks that they have had very little interaction. I've been not a fan of that personally. It's a little.
You still think that they're going to do the tag team match at Mania?
Yeah, I still think so. I mean, they have to do something. And you already saw Jey Uso betray Sami last week. Mm-hmm. So I think that's where they're going with this because Cody is with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn.
Right.
But obviously Cody Rhodes is facing Roman Reigns in Mania.
Right.
So you've got to have the Usos do something in Mania. And I think that would be the best way to do that. It just might be too little too late to get started because we only have 3 weeks.
Right.
So it's just kind of weird. Bianca Belair and Carmella, it was fine. I like the Chelsea Green and Carmella tag team. Let's see where it goes. It probably won't go anywhere, but you never know.
I like seeing that too.
Yep. Seth Rollins and Logan Paul have really good chemistry, and I'm looking forward to the match overall. I don't know how Logan got this so quickly. It's amazing. How would that happen? Omos has showcased very well in this, but I want to see the interaction between Omos and Lesnar, but that will actually happen tomorrow, so there's no problem there. And Mustafa Ali and Dolph Ziggler's rivalry is a nothing. I don't know why they're even bothering with it.
I didn't even know that there was a rivalry.
Yep, Finn Balor and Johnny Gargano had a fun match, but Edge's interference was a good idea. And they have do they have the match set up in Mania yet, or is that not official?
I'm not sure yet.
I don't think it's official. Nikki Cross and Piper Niven seemed incredibly upset about their performance because the match sucked. Straight up, I don't know what happened.
Was that something that they'd stated on social media?
No. You could just see visually, in ring, that they just seemed really disappointed on how it went. I don't know what was going on. Both of them are good wrestlers.
Right.
But for some reason, they just were botchy and sporadic.
Right.
It was very strange.
Interesting.
I wasn't a big fan of it. John Cena and Austin Theory had a good segment, and I'm excited for that match as well. Chad Gable and Baron Corbin's match was a meh, and I still don't understand why Maximum Male Models and Otis, I don't know what's going on with that, and I just want some clarity.
Right.
If anybody cares.
Right.
I am not sold on this 6-woman tag for Mania. I feel like it's kind of a waste.
Yeah, I'm not either. I know that there are rumors swirling that there's going to be another match involving the women's tag team titles at WrestleMania. So, so Becky Lynch and Lita would then be pulling double duty.
I mean, it's not like we haven't
It's not
seen
impossible,
that before,
right?
But this whole 6-woman tag just seems very rushed and very forced, and I'm not a big fan of that. It's like, okay, Becky Lynch could have chosen anybody for Mania, but for some reason they brought Lita and Trish back. Like, is it because they can't sell? Like, what's going on here?
I know, yeah.
It doesn't make the division look good overall.
No.
And Jimmy Uso and Sami Zayn, they had a good match, but it wasn't as good as SmackDown's. Jay's betrayal was good. It was predictable, but it was good overall.
Yep.
So it was an okay Raw. I was not the biggest of fans of it. The pacing was all over the place, but overall it was at least watchable. NXT, actually, for Roadblock, it had 624,000 viewers compared to 555,000 last week, and it was a 0.17 compared to a 0.13, and it was number 13 in the top 150, so not bad overall for NXT. Tony D'Angelo and Dijak had a fun match, but I was not aware about the rules and the stipulation, this being a jailhouse brawl. I don't know why they didn't wait until Stand and Deliver for this.
Yeah, who knows?
It just, once again, feels rushed.
Yep.
Peanut Gallery.
What?
Your green screen is blowing around.
Oh.
If you can, there we go, thank you. It's disappointing because Dijak has lost a couple of fairly big matches. You can get up and shut the door if you want.
No.
So I was just not a big fan of that. I don't know. They brought Dijak. He's very good.
Right.
But he's lost 2 high-profile matches now.
So his momentum's shot.
Yeah, it's
Right.
starting to wane. It's not
Yeah.
shot yet. It's starting to wane a little bit. Gallus and Pretty Deadly segment was a meh. I don't care. Braun Breaker and the Creeds taking on Jinder and Indus Sher was actually a fun 6-man tag. Everybody was in a rivalry with this match, and I thought it was a good way to utilize Braun Breaker without him going to defend the title yet again.
Right.
And also a nice little tie of a bow to end that rivalry. And then obviously Breaker and Hayes' interaction for the title for Stand and Deliver. Good.
Yep.
Excellent. Obviously that was going to happen, but I'm happy that they did that. Oh, Grayson Waller effect with Shawn Michaels was meh because we know that it wasn't going to happen. Grayson Waller was not going to face Shawn Michaels,
Right.
so why bother doing that?
Right.
Johnny Gargano coming back to do that was a good decision, not only because Gargano is good and on NXT, but remember
He's also a mainstay on the old black and gold NXT as well.
he was like one of their big stars, but also when Johnny Gargano initially left, Grayson Waller was the one who attacked him and sent him
Right.
packing. So you had that time.
Oh, that's true.
All well and good. It was fine. Gigi Dolan and JC Jane, I don't know what happened here. This was very strange. Number one, why didn't we not wait until Stand and Deliver?
Right.
And number two, it just felt very off because it kind of ended out of nowhere, very randomly. They're probably going to do another match, but at the same time,
You kind of
do
lost
I
the
want
magic.
to? Right, exactly. And that's the issue here right now.
Right.
Joe Gacy and Andre Chase was meh. The rivalry is meh. It's meh. Roxanne Perez and Maiko Satomura's title match was fun, but the collapse was weird. I even put in the notes, I hope it wasn't IRL. It was not. It was for rivalry because Satomura is supposed to be this killer with her kicks and all of that stuff, and that's fine, but it was a weird way to end on the show, and I was not a huge fan of it. Let's talk about Dynamite. Despite the randomness of this show, it actually went up in both demo and ratings. So it had 858,000 viewers compared to 833, and it was a .29 demo instead of a .27, and it was number 4 in the top 150. But once again, you have 2 title matches here. More people are going to be interested with that fact anyway.
Yeah.
There was no major announcement or anything like that. Orange Cassidy and Jay Lethal. Overall, it was a fun opener, and then changing the title's name is not going to help the legitimacy of the champion. You can put it on the line 4 million times. It's not going to do anything.
Right.
At the very least, at least a non-WWE guy is holding the title, and
That's true.
At least they're doing something with it. The Ricky Starks thing, beating Jericho, and now he's facing Juice Robinson. Talk about a step down. You would think that Ricky Starks would continue to face high roller athletes at this point.
Juice Robinson is not a high-profile athlete.
Right, exactly.
He's just in the mix.
And despite what people say, Chris Jericho does have name value.
Right, he does. He is bring star power.
Yeah, star power in multi-sectional stuff because also Fozzy is not the smallest band in the world either.
Right.
So, Ruby Soho and Sky Blue's match was a whatever. Once again, this rivalry is going to continue. Also, they're called the... They keep changing the name. I don't know what they're calling them now. I heard freelancers. I heard
It's
outliers.
whatever the flavor of the week is, I guess.
It really is. And it was a nothing sandwich. And they're continuing this rivalry. And where was the fucking champion? And it's stupid that they're continuing this when nobody cares. FTR segment was a nothing. People, it was a nothing. It was exactly what you thought it was going to be. It was a nothing.
I probably could, without even watching it, probably could say...
What was it?
I don't know, but...
they called out the Guns.
Right.
Because right now the Guns are the tag team champions.
Right. And I would think that the FTR would be gone for a little bit longer than they were set up to be. So I don't know what's going on.
And once again, here come the Jericho Appreciation Society bearing a good young trios team here with AR Fox and Top Flight. For the love of God, anything that Jericho Appreciation Society touches just kills everything. They are a poison, and especially Sammy Guevara, because fuck Sammy Guevara.
Right.
I almost said that like he owes me money. I mean, he does. Blackpool Combat Club versus Dark Order. Once again, was a nothing, but I'm okay with Blackpool Combat Club's heel turn. They needed to do something, and it's fine.
And the Dark Order is actually finally doing something
Right.
interesting and relevant ever, for the past,
Ever.
3 years?
Yeah, for the past ever. And then finally, due to the outside circumstances, their modification of the TNT Champion match was fine. I don't like that they're trying to incorporate an IRL break-in into a car, into a storyline. It's weird.
That is kind of weird.
But seeing Powerhouse Hobbs winning the champion is fine. But now we have Wardlow feuding with QT Marshall. You went from feuding with MJF to now feuding with QT Marshall. Talk about a downgrade. Talk about that AEW does not care about Wardlow anymore.
Right.
At the very least, Powerhouse Hobbs won, because if he lost, good lord. Anyway, let's go into Impact. I could not find ratings or demo for Impact. Bully Ray's segment was fine. Once again, they're spinning the wheels in the mud here with Bully Ray,
Right.
and I don't know why. The match between Bully Ray and Bhupinder Gujar was once again fine. The ending with the DQ is weird because apparently Masha's still with Bully, and then Mickie James comes out. But once again, Mickie James already had a match, and
Right.
she's also now going to have to face Jordynne Grace. I think they said at the next pay-per-view.
Or is it at the next premium event?
It's a sacrifice.
Yes,
Yeah,
a
you're
sacrifice.
right.
Sacrifice is not one of the big four.
No, it is not. But that's kind of what's going on there. Once again, very directionless with Mickie James, and I don't know why. Jordynne Grace continues to look awesome because she looks good, and also
I have a theory about why. I think it's because Impact Wrestling has a problem with the women on their roster, because a lot of the only high profile woman that is left was
now when we're talking about high profile, we're talking about like
Taya Valkyrie just left the company, and then we had.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, she did. She finished up her time with Impact, so she's no longer with the company. She's expected to debut for AEW, unfortunately. But we don't know that.
Yeah.
We don't know that.
Good upgrade, guys. Good upgrade.
But there is
Great
there is a challenge. Jade Cargill has an open challenge in Canada next week for the TBS champion.
So you're going to go into that immediately losing.
And that is what is expected to happen, is that Taya Valkyrie, who is from Canada, is expected to make her debut there. But again, we don't know that.
That's disappointing. That's so disappointing.
That is what's going on in the rumor mills.
I hope Taya kind of gets her head out of her ass and realizes that it's going to be an incredibly poor decision on many levels. Do not go to AEW, please. But Jordynne Grace looks physically good. She's going into a very high-profile bodybuilding competition, and so now she's going to have that cross-promotional appeal.
Right.
Which is good. They need more of that. They really focus on the knockouts during this show. There has been a couple of segments. Jonathan Gresham and Kushida had a fun back and forth, but once again, Jonathan Gresham losing another high-profile match is kind of hurting his credibility as a star, because he's only been able to beat rookies and jobbers and outside talent. So now he's losing to Kushida, who's there very temporarily.
Right.
Very strange. Killer Kelly and Taylor Wilde just seemed lost in the shuffle. Once again, this is like the third knockout segment. But I am a big fan of Kylan King and Taylor Wilde. Now, has Kylan signed with Impact?
That is unknown to me at this point in time.
Okay, she is on their roster, but once again, I mean, that would not be a great thing for NWA, but I think they'll be okay. I'm okay with the team, but once again, I really wanted to see the Killer Kelly and Taylor Wilde team a little bit more. And also, they had Killer Kelly cut a promo. My issue with that is that she's not the strongest in promo, and you almost ruined the mystique of Killer Kelly like that. So, not a big fan of that. And finally, Mickie James and Gazelle Shaw's title match was good. Gazelle is really needing to get into that space of a high-profile main eventer.
Right.
And I think showcasing what happened with this match was a step in the right direction. And I think Gazelle actually has cross-promotional appeal. I say that because she is transgender as well. and she does speak out for that community. So I think her being involved and put on the pedestal like this is a good idea.
Right.
And also, she can back up her words. She actually is good. So I'm very happy about that overall. I did like Impact. Let's go into SmackDown. Now, SmackDown, these aren't official numbers because those don't come out until Monday. But it was a 2.136 million viewers next to 2.299 million viewers in a 0.5 demo instead of a 0.59 demo. A bit of a significant drop in demo, but not as much in regular viewers. So I don't know what happened there. And it was obviously number one in top 150. The five-way was good. Lots of time and a good pace for it, and it felt important. The tension between Drew McIntyre and Sheamus seems authentic, and I think because they're such good wrestlers and good friends, it felt organic. So overall, that was good, and they're probably setting up a three-way match for the title at WrestleMania. I'm on board with that all the way. Rey Mysterio's Hall of Fame induction announcement was a great decision. He is a legend. He deserves it, and he's a big-time draw, even still to this day for WWE.
Right, and I wonder, and again, we're speculating here, but we're probably setting up a mask versus hair match at WrestleMania.
Yep, because they continue that, and Dominic continues to look awesome. So,
right.
Overall, I'm happy with this.
And I'm sure that if Rey Mysterio wanted to retire, who better than his own son to retire him?
Somebody who he's really backing right now. Overall, it was good. I really liked it. And then Legado del Fantasma and Judgment Day was good. The story was there with the dynamic of the Mysterios, and it was a fantastic way to turn Legado del Fantasma babyface.
Yes.
Because now they are babyfaces.
Now they're teaming with Rey Mysterio.
Yes.
Which is perfect.
Well, they did it for the thing because Santos and Rey had their moment. I don't know what was going on with Joaquin Wilde and Cruz del Toro, but they've been gone for a couple of weeks. I heard injury, but I'm not sure with who.
Right. We're not sure yet.
Viking Raiders really needed this win. Braun Strowman and Ricochet, they're good. They're a fine team, and I hope they continue. But the Viking Raiders definitely lost a little bit of credibility with the multi-losses against Drew McIntyre and Sheamus.
Yep.
So them coming back with a W in a good match was good for them. Charlotte Flair's match was kind of useless. The match was okay, but I question why at the end of the day. She is the champion. She doesn't need to showcase herself more. I would have rather had Rhea Ripley wrestle in this context if that was going to be the case.
Right.
You need to showcase more Ripley because we already know how good Charlotte is.
Right.
Maybe have them do another promo. Maybe have a backstage something. But in a match, kind of useless against Shotzi. And finally, the Usos segment was meh. We've seen it already. Let's move on from it, you know?
Right.
And finally, Rampage. I did not get numbers for this week, but last week it was 394,000 viewers in a 0.1 demo. Just stop. And also it was number 32 in the top 150. At the very least, it ranked. But
that's true.
That's over 150 shows. So, Sammy Guevara and Action Andretti for the umpteenth time was utterly useless. Poor Action Andretti. Peanut Gallery, can you please? Thank you. The Acclaimed. You had a team that got over organically with the scissoring. Not a big fan of it, but it got over with the audience. It gave them life. And then all of a sudden, you make them drop the titles. You have them face jobbers, and now they're going into a program with the Jericho Appreciation Society.
Oh, great. Oh, fuck me.
Yeah, no, exactly. You had this white-hot team win the champions. I'm going to close that door if that continues. And it's breaking my concentration. But it's so sad seeing the Acclaimed going from this white-hot tag team to just doing nothing.
Yeah, we're probably going to have to close it. Anyways,
that's fine.
Just finish it.
Preston Vance and Konosuke Takeshita was a good match. They have potentials to be stars. Just keep your hand right there. It was a difficult situation here with the tag team champions. How are you going to do this? And I think overall, other than just retiring those champions and making new titles, this was a good way to do it. set up a ladder match.
Right.
Call it Reach for the Sky ladder match. I think is personally a good tribute to him, and obviously this was an idea from Mark. So there you go. Nyla Rose and Riho was actually surprisingly a fun main event overall. Riho is picking up a couple of big wins on Dynamite and on Rampage. Let's see where that goes. I'm curious. But that is my soapbox. Peanut Gallery, other than fighting with the curtain, do you have anything to add?
Nope.
All right. So when we return, we're going to be talking about our topic, which is wrestling journalism.
Yeah.